It's time for Recipe of the Day. I'm wondering if you've made my Greek chicken marinade yet. I told you about it the other day, and it is so delicious. It's got the olive oil, lemon, zest and juice, some Dijon mustard, red wine vinegar, garlic, salt, oregano, and thyme in there. Lots of that great flavor. But the thing I like the best about it is that it also makes a delicious salad dressing. So you can make up a batch of the marinade, use half of it to marinate some chicken, and then use the other half to make a salad dressing that has that chicken in it. It brings everything together. So I'm going to tell you quickly how to do that marinated chicken and grilling it, but really you can go and find that whole episode about that. Then I'm going to talk about how to make the crispiest lettuce for your salad and how to tweak the dressing a little bit here or there if you would like to change it just a little bit. There are a couple of little things you can do that are really delicious. Okay, so you are starting by scoring your chicken breasts on one side with hash marks using a knife about 1/8 of an inch deep. So like hashtag kind of hash marks right into that chicken. And that is going to help that marinade really penetrate. Marinades don't go all the way into meat. They tend to only flavor the surface. But by making those cuts in there, we let that flavor get right inside. So you do that to your chicken. Then you're mixing together the marinade ingredients, 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 lemon that you've zested and then juiced, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, 2 garlic cloves minced, and a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of dried oregano, and half a teaspoon of dried thyme. Mix that all together. And actually the mustard in there is going to help emulsify it. So it kind of holds all the ingredients all inside so that nothing's like floating to the top or dropping down to the bottom like the oregano or the thyme. It's all floating in there because we've emulsified it and made it thick from that mustard. Then you're going to scoop out half of that and set it aside. That's going to be your salad dressing. It does not touch the chicken at all. To the half that remains, you're adding your 4 scored chicken breasts. And those are going in there for at least 30 minutes at room temperature. Or if you want to wait longer, you can put them in the fridge for 2 hours, but you don't really want to go longer than that. None of this overnight thing. It's really not necessary. And actually, it can start to make the texture of the outside of the chicken like cook a little bit. And we don't want that. We just want the flavor. We don't want it to be denaturing or changing the chicken at all. Okay, while that's marinating, you can get your salad ingredients ready. Although I will say that you should have gotten your lettuce done sooner, even the day before, but at least an hour ahead. And this is because I have a tip that makes lettuce especially nice and crunchy. This I learned from my mom. She used to do this for her restaurants, and she was known for having the just crunchiest, brightest, freshest salads. And this is why. So what you do is you get out your lettuce and you wash it under cold water, however you normally wash your lettuce, and then you let it drain. You can salad spinner it or just leave it to drain in the sink, blot it dry with paper towels, however you get it dry. And then once it's mostly dry, you wrap the lettuce up in paper towels, put it in some kind of plastic, a plastic grocery bag even, because the paper towels is stopping it from touching that bag, but any kind of like plastic container or bag, and that goes into the fridge for at least an hour. That cold water, recently washed lettuce that hits the fridge, it just kind of perks it up and makes it so nice and crunchy, and it's going to stay that crisp for a good couple of days. So that is a great tip for making your lettuce crunchy. Now you're going to get that nice crisp lettuce and break it into your bite-sized pieces. And I'll say that I am a huge fan of making a salad in a big bowl and tossing it with the dressing and then distributing it to plate so that you get the salad dressing kind of evenly on everything instead of drizzled on top. So I'm going to say that you're chopping up or tearing up that lettuce, about 2 heads of romaine lettuce, and you're doing that into a big serving bowl. And to that, you're adding half a pint of cherry tomatoes that you've cut in half. It's about 15 of them, half of a red onion thinly sliced, 1 cucumber, like an English cucumber, seeded and chopped, a red bell pepper diced, and 10 pitted Kalamata olives. Cut those in half lengthwise. I like to get the pits out so that nobody's crunching on them when they're eating the salad, and cutting them in half means that they just spread out a little bit more through the salad. I would not add the dressing at this point, though. I would put that bowl back into the fridge so that everything is staying nice and cold while you cook your chicken. You can get your feta cheese crumbled at this point. That is a step that you could do. Then get that chicken out of the fridge, preheat a grill to medium high or a nice big skillet to medium high. You're doing this over direct heat, and you are cooking those chicken breasts for about 6 to 8 minutes aside until the internal temperature is at 160 degrees Fahrenheit, or until it's not pink when you cut into the middle. And then you're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. Now you can brush some warm honey onto this chicken before slicing it. Just warm some in the microwave. That is super delicious. While that is standing, you're going to get out that reserved dressing that you had, not the stuff that the chicken was in, the stuff that you reserved, and give it a taste, give it a stir, give it a taste. See if you want to use it as is, or this is where the variations come in. If you want the dressing to be sweet, you can add 2 teaspoons of honey to that reserved marinade, and it's going to add that little nice sweetness. You can do that even if you're doing the honey on the chicken. Having that sweetness in 2 places will tie them together, or you can choose to just do one of them. The other thing you could do to that dressing instead is to add 2 tablespoons of full-fat Greek yogurt and a little bit of salt to taste. That's going to make like a creamy Greek dressing. Or you can do both of those things. You can add the 2 teaspoons of honey and the 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt and then a little bit of salt. Give that a taste. It's like a creamy, sweet, herby, really delicious salad dressing. It has all the same ingredients as the chicken marinade with this little bit added. And so they really bring out the flavors in each other and go together really well. Okay, once your dressing is ready, you are tossing that with that bowl of salad from the fridge. Give it a good toss, maybe with some big metal tongs. Then divide it between 4 dinner plates. Then slice up that chicken and put that on top and top it all with your crumbled feta cheese. I promise this is going to be the best Greek chicken salad you've made at home. It is really that good. Okay, I'll put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is March 7th of 2025. And if you love chicken recipes like this one, you have got to get a copy of my cookbook. It is like a chicken resource. You will never need another chicken cookbook. I mean, you won't even need to go to my website. There are so many amazing chicken recipes there, over 200 of them, and they are for traditional methods like cooked in the oven, on the stove, on the grill, slow cooker, but also Instant Pot and air fryer. So it has everything you need. You can find it on Amazon if you search for All New Chicken Cookbook Pittman. It will show up there, or I will put the link in the show notes for this podcast episode for you. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookville.com, the All New Chicken Cookbook, and from this podcast Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.